And our final row on the inside will be the F4 car of Danny Hutchins. And looks like on the outside of the final row from Prairie City, driving the number 45, Nate Mosier. As we get set to go, 10 cars for 10 laps. It has now been shortened to 8 laps, 10 cars for 8 laps. As we now turn it loose over in turn number 2 as Chris Martinez has the lead down the backstretch. Curtis Thorson, though, on the move. Curtis Thorson, as he came to play tonight, as he now takes over the top spot from Chris Martinez. Curtis Thorson now out front, Martinez back to second, Brett Golick third, John Scholes running in the 4th spot. And we'll let you know exactly how many cars are transferring here in a moment. As Curtis Thorson leads down the back straightaway, Brett Golick running second. Chris Martinez still holding down third, John Scholes fourth. As the field getting themselves spread out around the half mile here, as Alan Zoot working on the 45 and Nate Mosier as they battle for the 7th spot. This time by, Doug Clark shows in the halfway as 4 laps down, 4 laps to go for Curtis Thorson. And the yellow flag coming out now. All right, as we get set to go, top 4 cars will advance on to the back of tonight's C-Main. And Curtis Thorson once again leads him down into turn number 1. Brett Golick running second. As the battle now heats up for that 4th and final transfer spot. Right now, Adam West has the spot. He's looking for third now in turns 3 and 4 as Adam West goes to the bottom of the 7M of Martinez. And Adam West advancing up another position, now up to third. Martinez, though, tries to come back. Chris Martinez got a nice drive on the high side of the racetrack, pulled alongside of Adam West, but now Martinez now under attack from the smoking and number 40 car, Dave Middleswart. As Middleswart starting to show a little smoke, but still closing in on the 7M of Martinez for the transfer spot. Adam West has third, Martinez in the 4th spot. Dave Middleswart, though, going to try the bottom one more time. Curtis Thorson takes the white flag. Hang on, Dave Middleswart. As yellow out on the speedway, Dave Middleswart giving it all he had through turns 3 and 4. And Curtis Thorson once again leads him down into turn number 1. Keep your eye on the 4th position. That's the transfer spot. Actually, keep your eye in the front as Brett Golick now giving a charge to Curtis Thorson, a pair of drivers from Newton, Iowa, battling up at the front of the pack. As Curtis Thorson comes down, he'll lead the white flag lap. Just a half a lap to go now for Curtis Thorson as he works down the back straightaway. Nate Mosier in that 45, going to have to get one more spot if he wants to advance on to tonight's C-Main. But coming off turn number 4 down to the waving double checkered flags, Curtis Thorson picks up the D-Main win. Brett Golick comes home second, Adam West third, and Chris Martinez rounds out our top 4 transfer spots.
Sometime when we have some time, I got a funny story to tell you about Nick. And one night we're sitting here at the races, and the weather starts to go south on us, and he had to scramble back to Pella to put the flowers inside, and I was rocking in the back.
Here we go, getting set to go to the green. Toby Brown gets a good start on the field, leading down the back chute, but keep your eye on the big Texan. Gary Wright running in that 2nd spot, trying to reel him in. Stacy Alexander running 3rd, then Ryan York in the 4th spot. 2 by 2, they work off turn 4 now. Larry Ball Jr., but look back up front. Your race for the lead down the back chute. You've got a new leader. Gary Wright takes a cut of an eye in the top spot. The Texan leads them off turn 4. Here comes your leader. Oh, hang on to your hat. Larry Ball Jr. gets loose in 4, slips back a couple spots. You've got a 3-way battle now for the 5th spot into turn 1. Eric Mason also up in the junk in turn 2, trying to advance a position down the back chute. Your leader down the front chute now, the cut number 9, Gary Wright, Toby Brown, Ryan York, Stacy Alexander, Larry Ball Jr., Ryan Anderson, Eric Vanderplug, Troy Meyer, your field filing down the back straightaway, sorting them out for position. Bobby Meitzer also doing battle for it and advancing position into turns 3 and 4. Oh, hang on, Meitzer gets up over the cushion. Now Mason closing in toward the back. Meanwhile, way up front by the scoreboard, your leader, Gary Wright, leading the way off turn 4 with lap traffic ahead. The top 5 cars transferring on to the feature event right now. Knoxville's Larry Ball Jr. is in the final transfer. Your leader still working through traffic, picking them off in turn 4. Now works by the lap car of Eggman. Gary Wright dives to the bottom, sorting his way through traffic. Toby Brown still running second. Ryan York a good run in the 3rd spot. Larry Ball Jr. running 4th. Stacy Alexander now cracks the top 5. Again, only the top 5 cars will transfer. Ryan Anderson, 1 spot out of transfer down into turn 1. He's the 71R car, trying to reel in Stacy Alexander. Then it's Eric Vanderplug and Troy Meyer. Only the top 5 cars will move on to the feature event. Yellow, yellow, yellow. As Frankie Heimbaugh stopping over on the high side of turn number 4. Frankie was running in the 14th spot when the yellow came out. William Eggman, Adam Weston, Mike Woodring coming around turn 4 to the cone. Green flag. Stacked up like traffic on I-235. They'll all sort it out into turn 2, but down the back chute. Your race now in the 2nd spot. Ryan York tries to make the move on Toby Brown. Not enough. Toby Brown hangs on to the 2nd spot as they work into turn 2. Ryan York still running 3rd. Larry Ball Jr. 4th, and look who's 5th. It's Eric Vanderplug. Eric Vanderplug up into the final transfer. The young man from Altoona riding 5th. Meanwhile, the tall Texan, Gary Wright, down the back chute leading the way. Your race now in the 3rd spot is Larry Ball Jr. working on Ryan York to the bottom side in turn 3. Got it, takes over 3rd. Larry Ball slides up to the cushion for 4th. Here comes Ryan York back to challenge as the white flag's out. Side by side, Ball tries to squeeze him, but the young man says no. Slides up to the high side of turn 2. Now Larry Ball back to the bottom side. They'll drag race into turn 3, shuts the door on the bottom side of 3. Ryan York trying to hang on as Gary Wright picks up the win.
15 laps is the distance. Top 4 spots, the only one that matter. And definitely want to keep your eye in the back of the pack as Brian Brown and Gary Wright definitely know how to get around the Knoxville Raceway. They're starting at the tail of this one. And as we get set to go, Jesse Giannetto brings him down the front straightaway. As we stack them up 2-3 wide, Ryan Menninga, hang on. I can't believe it, everybody's still rolling. Oh my goodness, by the highlight video of that was spectacular. As everybody keeping them straight thus far. Jesse Giannetto, your leader. Oh boy, we got trouble now. As we cut him loose once again, top 4 spots all that matter. Jesse Giannetto. Jesse Giannetto out front by himself, but definitely, as I said, keep your eye on the back of the pack. Lots of movement through the back. Brian Brown got her hooked up on the high side. Now hooked up a little too high on the high side as getting up over the cushion. Brian Brown charging in the 20 car as he's making the high side work. Jesse Giannetto, your leader. Rick Seal second. Wayne Johnson third. Doug Wilson in that 4th and final transfer spot. Terry McCarl starting his charge now up into the top 5 as he works Matt Morrow. Terry McCarl, though, needs to get one more spot to advance into tonight's A main. Still lots of racing to do, and now just 3 laps in the books. Matt Morrow throws the big slide job on Terry McCall. McCall coolly just ducks back underneath, takes the position back as they're battling for the 5th spot. But hey, fellas, 5th ain't gonna do you much good. You need to get up to the top 4. Meanwhile, Wayne Johnson now takes over the 2nd spot. Nope, he doesn't. Rick Zeal comes right back underneath. Wayne Johnson, Rick Zeal battling for 2nd. Johnson gonna try it again. And this time, Wayne Johnson gets it to stick down the back straightaway. Pencil Wayne Johnson into 2nd, Rick Zeal 3rd. Doug Wilson 4th, Matt Morrow 5th, Terry McCarl now back in the 6th position. He's now under attack from the 36 of Larry Neighbors. Gary Wright now has cracked the top 10, now charges up into the 8th spot. Gary Wright on the move. Ryan Menigan now slowing on the front straightaway, pulls the Steve Ware's 10 car into the infield, calls it a 360 Nationals, and Ryan Menigan out for the night. As your leader, Jesse Giannetto, stretching out the advantage, though, with a little lap traffic not too far ahead. As it continues to be Giannetto, Johnson, Zeal, Wilson, your top 4. Terry McCall and Matt Morrow over the berm. Oh my goodness, Matt Morrow went through the infield and somehow kept it on all 4 wheels as he and McCall battling for the 5th spot. Terry McCall now up to 5th. How about the Texan though, Gary Wright? He is getting around the racetrack tonight. Put him into 6th now. Gary Wright up to 6th. Joe Beaver off the pace on the front straightaway. Joe Beaver slowing down the front stretch. Well, Jesse Giannetto on the back straightaway, he's got this one comfortably in control. Wayne Johnson now running 2nd, Rick Zeal 3rd, Doug Wilson 4th, but Terry McCall has closed the gap now on Doug Wilson for the transfer spot. Meanwhile, your leader in heavy lap traffic, Jesse Giannetto, splits the cars. And Terry McCall now is pulled up even with the 33W of Doug Wilson. McCall goes to the bottom, Wilson on the high side, put Terry McCall into a transfer spot. He's now up to 4th, looking for 3rd now for Rick Zeal. Gary Wright come all the way from the back of the pack up to 6th, needs 2 more spots to make the A main. Off turn 4, your leader remains the D1 of Jesse Giannetto. Wayne Johnson in 2nd. And now Terry McCall has got up to the 3rd position. Rick Zeal running 4th. Doug Wilson, though, tries to come back. Doug Wilson, Gary Wright now both. Here comes Doug Wilson. He's not done yet. Gets by McCall for 3rd. Great 3-way battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. McCall throws the slide job. Wilson tucks back underneath. Here comes Gary Wright. Gary Wright now up to 3rd. Doug Wilson to 4th, McCall to 5th. And Cody Branchcombe now gets in front of the 9 of Gary Wright. As that's the battle on the racetrack, folks. White flag is out for your leader, Jesse Giannetto. And it all comes down to this. Jesse Giannetto, Wayne Johnson, they'll finish 1-2 most likely. Gary Wright currently running in the 3rd spot, McCall 4th. Doug Wilson needs to get by the 83X of McCarl. Off turn 4, down to the waving checkers. Jesse Giannetto picks up your B main. Wayne Johnson 2nd, Gary Wright 3rd, and Terry McCarl comes home in the 4th spot. Well, it's time to go. The yellow lights are off. The seat belts have been pulled tight. And when we get to that chalk stripe in turn 4, we're going to cut them loose. Travis Rylat, Don Drow Jr., neither one of those guys have ever won the Advanced Auto Parts 360 Nationals. Keep your eye on the back of the pack. As we get set to go off turn 4, down to the green flag, Randy Martin goes to the top. Oh, Travis Rylat, lots of smoke out of the 29, keeps the car moving. Down the backstretch, Don Drow Jr. takes John Carney's 55 to the front. Drow Jr. with the early lead now goes to the top. Rylat still smoking, running 2nd. Randy Martin third, Shane Stewart fourth, and Dennis Moore Jr. rounds out the top 5 on lap number 1. Lots of racing all over the racetrack as they scramble for position. Randy Martin now gets by the 29 of Travis Rylat. Randy Martin now up to second. Travis Rylat back to third. Shane Stewart using the low line, trying to make the bottom work. Dennis Moore Jr. also on the bottom. Josh Higday moving up. He's on the high side. But Don Drow Jr. checking out right now. The 55. Don Drow Jr. leader Randy Martin trying to reel him in. Travis Rylat running third. Josh Higday really on the move in the fifth. Now loses another spot to Shane Stewart. Meanwhile, back to the front, Travis Rylat has gotten back by the 14 of Randy Martin. Rylat back to second. Randy Martin still on the high side. He's running third. Well, Don Droud is trying to check out on the field, but he will have lap traffic not too far off on the horizon very shortly. Rylat on the bottom. Look at Josh Higday now, throws the slide job on Randy Martin. Josh Higday up to the third spot. He started 8th, now running third, and Josh Higday looking very fast. He's running third, Randy Martin 4th, Dennis Moore Jr. 5th, Shane Stewart now back to 6th, Kenny Adams 7th, Billy Alley 8th, Darren Stewart 9th, and Jake Peters rounds out your top 10. Don Drow Jr., your leader now, coming up on the lap car. The 10L is Shane Liebig. Travis Rylat still running the bottom, and Josh Higday up on the cushion in third as he tries to catch Travis Rylat now through turns 3 and 4. Lots of racing all around the racetrack. Your leader, Don Droud, having a little trouble with the 10L. Hang on, we got a spin right in front of your leader as Zach Chappell looping the Chamco Concrete 50Z. 8 laps down. Travis Rylat follows Don Droud into the corner, shows a little bit more smoke. Rylat going for the lead. Droud not going to give it up, but Travis Rylat going to take it anyway. And Travis Rylat has the lead, but Don Droud says, oh, no, I'm taking that back. Droud goes back to the cushion, takes the lead. Travis Rylat now back to second. Droud goes low to block. Rylat now goes to the cushion. Josh Higday having fun just sitting back watching this, waiting for his turn. Meanwhile, Shane Stewart now gets by Dennis Moore Jr. He's up to the 5th spot. Dennis Moore Jr. back to 6th. Kenny Adams now running 7th. Don Droud Jr. now starting to pull away from the 29 of Travis Rylat. Josh Higday running 3rd. Randy Martin running a strong 4th as he now closes in on the 24 of Higday. Shane Stewart now up to the 5th spot. Dennis Moore Jr. back to 6th. Kenny Adams runs 7th. Darren Stewart 8th. Billy Alley 9th. And Jake Peters still rounding out your top 10. Oh, trouble coming out of turn number 4. And Gary Lee Meyer brings the 11X to a stop on the front straightaway as Gary Lee not able to get the 11X into the infield. Oh my goodness, as I'm looking through the lineup, Don Droud Jr. slows in turn number 2. Oh my goodness, somebody buy that man some luck, because he hasn't had any for about a year and a half. Keep your eye on spots 11, 12, and 13. Gianetto, McCarl, and Wright moving up through the field. Travis Rylat got a great jump on Josh Higday, brings him down. Higday goes to the cushion. Randy Martin now tries the bottom groove. As Travis Rylat out front leading this one, but Randy Martin, Josh Higday now battling for 2nd and 3rd. Higday has the spot right now. Randy Martin back to 3rd, Shane Stewart 4th. As both the top and the bottom grooves working well on the racetrack right now. Shane Stewart now going to throw the big slide job in turns 3 and 4, takes over the 3rd spot. Randy Martin tries to duck back underneath. And yellow on the speedway. As you see the 10L of Shane Liebig sitting crossways on the racetrack as he loops that car over there in turn 2. Creeping through turns 3 and 4, waiting for just the right moment. Now Rylat stands on it. Gets another great jump on Josh Higday. As Higday tries to go to the cushion, Randy Martin though powers down to the inside. Randy Martin out to second. Shane Stewart up over the cushion, loses a spot to his little brother Darren. Darren Stewart taking advantage of the misfortune. No, Shane Stewart, he doesn't care if it's his brother. He's throwing the slide job. Shane Stewart and Darren Stewart mixing it up for the 5th and 6th positions. Meanwhile, Travis Rylat down the back straightaway now, stretching out the advantage on Josh Higday and Randy Martin. Meanwhile, Shane Stewart back to the inside of Darren Stewart. The Stewart boys having fun now, battling for 5th and 6th. Darren Stewart again to the cushion as he tries to hold off his brother for the 5th spot. Darren Stewart on the move now as he now gets bottled up behind the 75 of Dennis Moore Jr. Travis Rylat and Josh Higday, Randy Martin, Dennis Moore Jr., Darren Stewart, your top 5. And Mike Hausman now slowing down the front straightaway as Hausman having troubles on the Bryan Ridge 83. He takes that car safely into the infield. Josh Higday now starting to reel in the 29 of Travis Rylat. Oh, Higday gets up over the cushion, loses a little ground. Josh Higday won the Tournament of Champions last year, trying to win his first 360 Nationals. As he pursues Rylat down the back straightaway. As Rylat comes down this time, he'll complete lap 18, 7 laps to go. He's gonna have to contend with lap traffic if this stays green. Darren Stewart definitely on the move as he continues to work on the 75 of Dennis Moore Jr. As Travis Rylat, your leader, but Josh Higday appears to be reeling him in a little bit with every lap. As he tries to close the gap, now definitely closing the gap, but once again jumps over the cushion. And Josh Higday, every time he gets within striking distance, gets over the cushion. As he and Travis Rylat running 1-2, they're stacked up 2 wide behind him. Dennis Moore Jr. on the bottom. As he's now beginning to close the gap, the only guy running the bottom, Dennis Moore Jr. trying to take him by surprise. This is how he won his first 360 Nationals, using the low line. Dennis Moore Jr. trying to do it again on the bottom. How about it? Look at the beam using the low line. Dennis Moore Jr. now up to second. And he found something that nobody else does. Dennis Moore Jr. down the backstretch takes the lead. Dennis Moore Jr., your new leader, as he's on the bottom. Everybody else still running the top. Travis Rylat running second, Josh Higday third. Randy Martin now goes to the bottom. But Dennis Moore Jr. stretching out the advantage. As great racing now back in the field as Dennis is checked out. Travis Rylat still running second. Randy Martin now running third. Higday back to fourth. Shane and Darren Stewart battling for 5th and 6th. But Dennis Moore Jr. having fun out front. He comes down this time. Doug Clark shows him the white flag. Oh my goodness, there's going to be a party in Knoxville tonight. Dennis Moore Jr. out front. One more time down the back straightaway. A brand new car put together just for this event. Dennis Moore Jr., everybody up. Put your hands together. Dennis Moore Jr. wins his second 360 Nationals. Well, Dennis Moore Jr., as we said, picking up his second 360 Nationals, did it in '99, and does it here tonight.
Oh, that's just wrong. That is wrong. Let's go up top.
My favorite black guy.
Is that what it is? All right. Look at this. Look at this. Happy Father's Day from her, huh? Come on in here, bud. You're all right. Number one, I guess, okay? All right. I think he's done this a couple times. All right, Dennis, real quick. You went from 5th to 1st in a couple laps there towards the end. You found some at the bottom, but I noticed when you were coming by, it didn't sound like you had the RPMs all the way out neither. Just kind of let up a little bit and let the car work?
No, actually, I think the top just slowed up enough. We weren't, I guess, good enough to run the top. Just didn't feel like I could carry a lot of momentum up there, and just kind of was patient and trying to hit my lines down there. And I think the look on the computer, I think that I just kept the same speed and the top slowed up a bit.
As far as everything this weekend's concerned, coming home for the weekend, you mentioned your dad just got out of the hospital. He was here last night. He's here again tonight. What a Father's Day present.
Yeah, that is a heck of a Father's Day. I don't know where he's at yet. He's probably going to come down here, but I'm going to give a big yay for him. He's the reason I'm here. He raced, when he was a kid and kind of pointed me in this direction, and it turned out good. And everybody's been sick. My wife's in the hospital. She slipped a disc, so she's been in the hospital for the last 2 days, and Dad has got 2 days of releases to come down here and watch me. And hell of a guy, we're best of friends, we're good friends, hung out together. I don't know if that's normal or not, but we're good and tight, and he's tough, and he's going to make it through this deal, and he'll be back for Nationals.
As far as the rest of the season goes, how soon do you head back to California?
I leave Monday to go to Oregon, and then we work our way up to Washington, points races.
All right, man, well, congratulations. You came back here to do what you got to do, and you did it. Nice job. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Dennis Moore, Jr.
I'm waiting on 3rd, and then
We'll get up here and talk to Travis here for just a second. Travis, I'll tell you what. Things were checked. Yeah, it happens that way, Dennis. That's okay. Things checked out, but I got to ask you early on, man, a lot of smoke coming out of that race car.
Oh, that's just a sign of a good running engine there, a little smoke coming out of her.
It all straightened up there, had a good run going. Was you surprised to see Dennis go by you there towards the end?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I thought I had her selling through there pretty good, and after that last restart, we'd started to make a few mistakes bobbling up on the top there. Then he just snuck around me. I didn't expect him coming. I thought we had him covered, but he did a heck of a job, didn't he?
You and Don Drought Jr. at the beginning of the race started off kind of chasing each other back and forth. Don kind of checked out there, then he ran into some gear problems. He tore him off there, but it sure looks smooth sailing. What about the rest of you guys this season? Just chasing points?
Yeah, we're running the ASCS for this year. We're trying to win the championship. They're offering a $20,000 prize money for that, and so we're after that this year. But we'll be back up this way to run over here at Knoxville for the Nationals, try to defend our title over at Oskaloosa on that $30,000 race. We'll do a few more non-wing races as well this year.
I got to say, after last year, you got to think about doing a lot more non-wing races.
Yeah, I tell you what, those are fun. I won another one about a month ago, and it was real good. Started in the back, kind of like I did on that Oskaloosa deal, and it was fun.
All right, well, congratulations, second place. Maybe not where you wanted, but not too bad.
Yep, we'll take it.
Travis Wright, ladies and gentlemen. And we get over here and talk to the local guy, Josh Higday. Another one of the Monsters Racing Engines. Top 3 here almost, 2 of them anyway. But nice run tonight. Looked like you were starting to reel him in there for a little bit. Then the thing let up a little bit, and then Dennis got by all of you.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dennis did a good job. He's been racing out in California, and them guys are tough out there, and, it's hard to beat a guy like that.
As far as Dennis coming back around August, though, you got a lot of chances to get back at him.
Yeah, me and Dennis are pretty good friends. He did a good job, and we're pretty proud of running 3rd, so hopefully we'll get him next weekend.
You got one more thing to finish up this year besides chasing the points here at Knoxville. You're defending champion there, that tournament champions is coming in August. You ready to run that again?
Yeah, we're really pumped up about that. Hopefully we can win it again, That'd be great.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to get out of the way. 3rd place this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Higday.